Happy New Year's, everybody, and welcome to Warhammer Fantasy Battle Reports from Shyhammer Fantasy. And over the holiday season, I went to my friend's house. That he lives in Detroit. I'm from Chicago. He said he acquired a Dwarf army, and he wanted to play it for the first time ever. And I was like, "Fuck it, let's go drive down there and play a game." So basically, that's what you're about to see is my Orcs and Goblins versus his Dwarf army. And the first picture here is going to show you what I have in my army. I have a unit of Black Orcs. I believe it was like 18 Black Orcs. The guy on the board was actually the general. And at this time, I did not know that your general does not get a lookout sir if he's mounted inside a unit of infantry. But, oh well. This next picture here we have, it's my lone goblin wolf rider. He has the armor of destiny that gives him a 4-up ward save, and then as well as gives him heavy armor, so the heavy armor and mounted gives him a good 4-up armor save as well. And then in this picture here we have my savage orcs, and I have a good proxy in the front for the savage orc champion with 2 heads on the left there. In the front you see my goblin BSB. He has the spider banner that allows the whole unit to get poison attacks. And then I have 20 Night Goblins with spears, and then another 20 Night Goblins with short bows. Of course, they have fanatics inside. And then over here I have my giant cave squig herd. Those 2 big guys are proxying in for 4 models apiece. My Goblin Wolf Riders, 5 of them. And then I have my War Machines. I have the 2 Doom Divers, and then Mangler, and then my 2 Shamans is level 4 Orc Shaman and a level 1 or 2 Night Goblin Shaman. And then of course I got my Foot of Gork, which is the second spell you can see right there. I also got the Hand of Gork, which is just great. Edbutt and Brain Buster, looking good on my magic, I believe. And then the Night Goblin, I guess he was a level 2, got Gift of the Spider God and Curse of the Bad Moon. Now, a lot of my friends' dwarfs that he had, this is the first time he was playing them. He kind of just inherited this army, and then we bought a book, and basically a lot of the rules. If we mess up the rules, please just go ahead and tell us, because he's learning as well. But it's not like I know the dwarf rules that well. But he has a unit of Slayers there, and that unit of Slayers had a Demon Slayer hero in it, and then this giant block here, we called them Longbeards. Then his War Machines, he had 2 Grudge Throwers, 1 Organ Gun. That's Joseph Bugman in the back, and then that's actually a special character on the left side there, but he used it as his BSB because we didn't know until we were looking at the pictures of the models that we found out that's the special character for the Slayers. And then on the left block there, those are Quarrelers, and on the right block, they're technically Thunderers, but for this game we said that they were, I want to say they're called Fire Drakes or something like that, or Iron Drakes, but basically the shooting flaming attack ones. With the 1 Grudge Thrower, he has an Engineer, and then in the giant block of Longbeards, he actually has the General, and I think Bugman in it as well, and then the BSB was actually hanging out with the Quarrelers, which I kind of explained it's probably not the best spot to put the BSB, but he wanted to anyways. So this is what the board looks like on my side. Basically, you can see that on the left side we have the squigs behind they have to go around that fence. The 2 Doom Divers go out on the corner of the board, as well as the big blocks of Black Orcs and Savage Orcs are in the middle. The Mangler's going to run up the gut. The short bows were actually going to go ahead and kind of just pick at people around the trees or in the middle. And then the Night Goblins were going to come up at the flank. And then on the far flank we had the Wolf Riders on one side, and on the other side that's closest to where you can't even see on the camera is my Night Goblin, or I'm sorry, my Goblin hero on the Wolf, and he's going to go just charge around the side and come in the flank. And then on his side he had everybody on surrounding the bridge. He had basically the Grudge Throwers on the top of the bridge. There's small little ladders going up the bridge, and then he has the organ gun kind of protecting one side and the Iron Drakes protecting the other side, and then he had his big unit of Longbeards and Slayers coming up the middle. And so for the Vanguard, I had my hero go up to the left flank, and then my Goblin Wolf Riders go up onto the right flank. Dwarfs win turn 1, so he goes ahead and moves up. He moves up the Longbeards. He kind of messed up where his Longbeards are in the way of the Slayers, so they didn't move up, but his Iron Drakes go ahead and come out through the tunnel, and then he uses Joseph Bugman. He uses a special rule where he gets to roll the dice, and he got Belligerent, which means that the unit gains Stubborn until the next friendly turn, which does nothing. But he gets that like several times throughout the game. So that was it for movement. Shooting, he uses a unit of Quarrelers, and they shoot at my Goblin Wolf Riders here, and go ahead and they pick off 3 of them. And then out of the 3 that died, I had to take a panic check, and I actually passed the panic check, which is kind of remarkable. He uses Grudge Thrower the First, and this is the one with the Engineer, and he actually had these really cool templates because apparently the set of Dwarfs that his friend gave him were really old, so we started using all these templates. I'm really jealous. I want to get these templates. But he uses the first one and direct hits my Doom Diver, just takes him out. He blew it up, and I can't even believe it. Second one, direct hits my fucking Mangler. I'm like, seriously? I'm like, whatever. The Mangler's not that big of a target. He could probably miss. And no, he got him right off the first move. And he shot him. No Mangler. Orcs and Goblins turn 1. You can see this is my movement. I just kind of moved everybody up. No charges, obviously. And then for magic, I got a beautiful 11 dice there. And sure enough, I go for the foot first, and got an Irresistible. You can't do anything about it. Got the Foot of Gorgoth. Smash that. Look at that template. It's so cool. It's a little foot with like an imprint, not like an actual foot, but it's imprint of the foot where it landed. Anyways, got him right on the Longbeards. Direct hit. I smashed 10 Longbeards. Screw those guys. And then second, I go for it again. I got 4, 5, or 6 to go again, and just kind of drifts off and does nothing. And then the Irresistible, or he actually got bored. He ran away after that, or walked away. And then my Irresistible Force miscast, kind of blows up my wizard there. So that was the end of my magic, and then he lost the power dice. Shooting phase, the Doom Diver here goes for those Iron Drakes, and he misses. He gets actually a misfire, which I got the 4, and that does nothing. Just can't shoot for 2 turns. And there was no close combat, so start of turn 2 for the Dwarfs. So movement, he goes ahead and moves the Longbeards up, and then basically that was it. He moved the Iron Drakes over to wheel out a little bit, and he also moved the Slayers out so they could just cover the flank. And then that was it for movement. Shooting phase, he goes ahead and he shoots his, I don't know if it was the Quarrelers, I think it was the Quarrelers at the dogs, and just kills off those 2 Wolf Riders. And then his organ gun, he turns it sideways to check that Goblin Wolf Rider that's coming in on the side, and he just blasts like 12 shots into him. Couldn't get enough armor or horde saves. He died. He actually died on 2 wounds specifically. Sucks. So he goes ahead and uses the first Grudge Thrower to aim at the remaining Doom Diver, and it just drifts off course, goes to the middle of nowhere. And then he goes ahead and takes a second shot at that unit of Savage Orcs, and bam, misfire. He also gets it where it just doesn't shoot for that turn. Orcs and Goblins turn 2. This picture right here shows you that those Goblin archers just fail their animosity, and they're going to go ahead and stumble forward. And not only that, but my friend brings up the point, you know, weren't we playing Mysterious Forest? And I was like, alright, so we rolled for the forest here where my Orc Shaman was just sitting in, and sure enough, it's a Venom Thicket, roll a 1, and he gets poisoned, takes a wound, and dies. So the rest of the movement, I just kind of moved everybody else up. That kind of sucked. It took my momentum away right away from the beginning of my turn. Magic phase, I got 10 on the power dice, but I only have a level 2 Night Goblin Shaman left, so I might as well throw them all on the Curse of the Bad Moon through 6 dice with the Magic Mushroom. Not sure if that works, but I still got an Irresistible off. Throw out that Giant Template, and it falls just short of hitting those Iron Drakes. And then the miscast ended up killing 2 of the Night Goblins that were just hanging in the back ranks. And Dwarf's turn 3, he goes ahead and he shuffles his Iron Drakes up just a little bit, just not close enough to hit that Vortex, of course. He goes ahead and fails a charge on his Longbeards into my Savage Orcs. And then that was it for movement, I believe. He goes ahead and into shooting. His Iron Drakes are just in range to start picking at my Night Goblins right there. And he kills 1 because the long distance made him have to roll out of 6s. And then his Organ Gun goes ahead and takes a shot at my Savage Orcs. And out of all those dice right there, he just basically killed 1 Savage Orc. The rest either got ward saves or just got lucky that he missed a lot. First Grudge Thrower aims it right at my Savage Orcs. And it drifts off just a little bit. It ends up clipping the back rank, and he kills off 3 of the Savage Orcs in the back there. The second Grudge Thrower goes ahead and takes a shot at the same Savage Orcs, but it drifts off right in between the buildings, and the Night Goblins does nothing. That was it for the Dwarf's turn. Orcs and Goblins go ahead, and Black Orcs and Savage Orcs both charge into those Longbeards and right into combat. As for magic, I got Gift of the Spider Gods and can't do the Vortex because the Vortex is still just kind of in play. So I go ahead and he actually dispelled the Gift of the Spider Gods too. The Vortex goes ahead and moves, and it actually travels right into the Quarrelers and stays on the board, killing off 2 of the Quarrelers who failed. I believe it was a Strength test. And then that was it for my magic phase. My shooting phase, send the Doom Divers right at those Iron Drakes, and it drifts dramatically and it ends up getting into the Longbeard's backside, and I actually killed 1. I believe it was just 1 with that shot. Close combat, his Lord goes ahead and kills 3 of my Savage Orcs, and then his Joseph Bugman kills, I believe, 3 of my Black Orcs. My Black Orcs go ahead, or my Savage Orcs go ahead and kill, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, around 9 or 10. Actually, I think that was both units, including my General who goes ahead and swings. And he loses the combat, but he passes his, because he was stubborn with Joseph Bugman and just Dwarf stubbornism, they stay there and they don't move. And Dwarf's turn 4. He goes ahead and he actually charges in with his Slayers, and they connect. He goes ahead and he shoots the Organ Gun right at the giant cave squigs that are coming up the side flank. First gun goes ahead and misfires. The second one gets 10 shots off. Out of the 10 shots, he kills a good, we randomized the hits, but he kills, looks like, 3 goblins, 3 cave squigs. And then his Iron Drakes, they go ahead and take shots at the Night Goblin unit right there, and they go ahead and they kill off 4 of the Night Goblins. And I believe that actually starts a panic check, and they start running. Yep, they just start running. The Quarrelers, they decide to shoot at my Night Goblin Shaman, which is my only Shaman remaining, and bam, they just killed him. And sorry for the blurry picture there, but you can also see the Night Goblins running. And then the first Grudge Thrower goes ahead and shoots at the Doom Diver, gets a direct hit, but it only does 1 wound. Huh. Very lucky for that Doom Diver. Second Grudge Thrower goes ahead and gets it would have been a direct hit, but it was a misfire, and I believe he actually re-rolled to see if he got the misfire, but no, he couldn't. That was the first Grudge Thrower had the Engineer, not the second. That was it for shooting. Goes into close combat, and this was brutal for my Black Orcs. All those Slayers and Joseph Bugman just destroyed my Black Orcs. They killed a good chunk of them. Just my General, a Champ, and Standard Bearer remaining, and then the remaining Longbeards killed a good chunk of my Savage Orcs, and then my Black Orcs actually whiff really bad. And my Savage Orcs only kill like a good handful, maybe 6 Longbeards, which basically makes combat go very poorly in my favor. And then he also had that hero. He had 3 heroes up in the front by now. I had 2, but sure enough, my guys run. So of course he chases, but when he chases, he actually gets his Longbeards close enough to my Night Goblins with the short bows to release the Fanatics. And the Fanatics go through. Only one Fanatic actually connects and goes through. The other 2 stop just short, which kind of screws me up a bit there. But and then the one that goes through only killed like 2 or 3 guys of the Longbeards. Didn't even scratch the heroes, of course. That was the end of his turn. The beginning of my turn, my compulsory moves. My first Night Goblin actually just killed himself by tripping on his chain. And then the other 2, or the other Night Goblin, kind of goes through my own unit and kills off my BSB. God damn him! At this point, I didn't have many characters left, so I just kind of randomized the hits on where it went, and sure enough, it killed the BSB. My Night Goblins with the spears rally before they get to the board edge, and they turn around facing those Iron Drakes again. And this is what's remaining, just 1 Savage Orc and 1... Actually, I don't even think the banner's supposed to be there. I think he's supposed to die too since he was running. But yeah, and he continues to chase with his general. And then my Doom Diver, I aim for that unit of Slayers there, and I misfire. And then not only do I misfire, but I get the same misfire, which doesn't allow me to shoot for 2 turns. My short bows, I move them up on the movement phase. They go ahead and take a shot and at those Iron Drakes, and they pick off 2 of them. And then my Squig Herd, they just reared around the fence, getting ready to attack those Slayers. And that was about it. That's in my turn. Dwarf's turn 5, and his general continues chasing my my remaining Savage Orc champion and the one guy, and they keep on running towards the edge of the board, and that's about it for movement. I think he tried to charge in to my Squig Herd. No, he didn't. He didn't try to charge into my Squig Herd, but his Organ Gun goes ahead and takes shots at my Squig Herd, and he kills 4 of them. So you see the big guy dead there. His first Grudge Thrower shoots at the Night Goblin with the bows. It drifts off just a little bit, and then I believe the second one couldn't shoot because it was still on cooldown from the previous misfire. Quarrelers, they go ahead and they pick off one of my Night Goblins with the spears, and then his Iron Drakes shoot again, and I believe, there he goes, picks off 4 more of them, and it causes them to panic and run again. And sure enough, they run into that fence. So my turn. I charge in with my Squig Herd and start chomping away at some Slayers. My guys run into the trees, and I don't know if it was dangerous terrain or wildwoods, but I killed 2 of my Night Goblins there, and tried to rally my Savage Orc, and guess what? He kept running. My Fanatic is just spinning around in the middle doing absolutely nothing. And let's go into close combat. Close combat, my Cave Squigs, they killed off a good chunk of the Slayers, but the Slayers actually beat the crap out of them, especially with their death blows, which caused, they actually killed majority of them. I believe there was 1 Squig left, and then that Squig blew up and killed a good chunk of, I believe he actually killed 5 Slayers, and this is the aftermath. You just see 3 Slayers left. Dwarf turn 6, and this is getting close to the end of the game. His general decides to continue chasing, and my guys actually just run off the edge of the board. They never wanted to rally. They just kept running. And then his Organ Gun shoots the crap out of that Fanatic just because he wanted to. His Grudge Throwers go ahead and take cheap shots, and they kill off 2 Night Goblins with bows. And that's pretty much it. We call game there, and it was a fun game. He got really lucky right off the beginning of the game with those 2 shots that killed my Doom Diver and my Mangler. And he got some really crucial shots off. That's what a Dwarf army is, good gun line. and I could have changed a lot of things. Losing my orc shaman to a tree, that really sucked. And then my leadership bubble was really bad. I should have kept the squigs a little bit closer, and keep the night goblins closer to the general or the BSB, so that way they could have rallied easier. But overall, great game. It's fun to play with my friend in Detroit. And I'll be putting up a new video soon. Probably me against undead and me against dwarves. I'm coming up this weekend, so I will be putting up some more videos very soon. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Peace.